What's up? Hope everybody is good out there in Shiny Land. I am coming to you from the past this week, believe it or not. I am recording this one, so we are not live. It is currently Tuesday around 3 p.m. my time, Central Time, Kansas City. I'm recording this one because our guest today is in Japan, other side of the world. And it's pretty hard for us to make Friday mornings work. So we tend to record these. Now it's going to be jam-packed with value, so don't you freaking worry about this being recorded. It's going to be a good one. Let me pull it up here, and I will show you what we got going on. Bam. So I've got Chris Blair on with me, and we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day angles that nobody's using but should be. Now, for those of you that don't know Chris Blair, he's kind of a legend in the e-com space. He's been doing this for well over a decade, which means, you know, he's like a sage around here. He's like the village elder, if that makes sense. And he has built his own print-on-demand store, which he exited. He's built multiple, and he's been coaching for, 5, 6, 7 years, something like that, since that time frame. And I've heard nothing but great things about Chris's coaching. I've had a number of people come to me and say that they benefited a lot from Chris's coaching. Chris has kind of a unique approach, and he teaches things that I think are, I don't know if they're unconventional, but they're seldom heard in the print-on-demand space. Anyways, one of the things I've always really appreciated about Chris's approach is he goes very, very deep into product research. And I love me some good product research. So we're going to get Chris on later, and he's going to be able to tell you all about it. But that's our guest today, and I am super freaking excited to be getting into this with you. Now, again, I do want to remind you, Chris does have some coaching. So if you like what you hear today, and you think you kind of resonating with Chris and kind of you're picking up what he's putting down, and you want to connect with him, you'll be able to do that. You're going to be able to respond right to the Facebook post that you see this video in. Chris will be in there talking in the comments, and you can also reach Chris on Facebook. So if you want to take things to that extra level, you want to take things to the next step, Chris will help you out. And by the way, at Shino, we don't get any kickbacks. There's no affiliate thing going on here, anything like that. With Chris, I'm telling you this because I know Chris has produced a handful of successful students, and my hope is he can do the same thing for you too. All right, so let's get into it. Let's kick off our normal spiel here. Do me a favor, like the post. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Doesn't cost you anything, but it's a huge help to the channel. It's a huge help to us in the algorithm. So if you like anything Shine-On does week over week, day over day to bring value to you guys, we would really appreciate some social media love, if that makes sense. Okay. Latest news. So we've got our Valentine's Day shipping cutoffs here. So we're going to go through these. Let me read them to you. I'll get my little laser pointer up. All right. So first, standard shipping. Well, let's see. Let's start back here. And we'll walk our way into Valentine's Day. So I'm starting on the 4th. You have international shipping, which our cutoff is on the 4th, February 4th. So pick is going to cut off. Or I'm sorry, guys. Production is going to cut off on February 4th for international shipping. And then pick is going to cut off on February 6th, again, for international shipping. You also have all of our production partner products are going to cut off on the 4th as well. So those are like our non-standard items. So that's like apparel, the blankets, canvas, stuff like that. This does not include jewelry. It doesn't include journals, any of the leather goods. It doesn't include acrylic. This is just for our partner products. So then moving forward here, so Saturday, February 7th, that's going to be the cutoff for production items with standard shipping. So production items or any Shine-On item has got to go through a production process. So this is going to be like name necklaces because we cut those in-house, for example. This will be graphic items. So this, like our graphic dog tags, graphic hearts, pendants, stuff like that, because we produce all of those in-house. This will also include things like our leather goods because those go through a printing process in-house. And it's not like a normal printing process with message cards. It's a big machine that does all of that. So all of that, the cutoff is for standard shipping is going to be on the 7th. right, for the production items. Then moving forward to the 10th, your cutoff for pick products. So this is the big kahuna, right? This is the stuff everybody's selling for Mother's Day. This is Valentine's Day, rather. This is going to be your message card jewelry, right? So basically the stuff Shine-On's known for, the necklace with the little message card behind it, our cutoff for standard shipping for those items is going to be February 10th. Okay. So you're going to be able to sell all the way to February 10th for Valentine's Day for our standard message card jewelry, right? Nobody else has shipping times that extend that far out. But I'm telling you, our ops team is the best there is in the business. So our cutoff for them is not going to be until the 10th. So again, that's standard message card jewelry. You get to sell all the way through the 10th. And then we also offer expedited shipping. All right, so that's standard shipping. But if you want to expedite the orders, we typically give you a little bit extra time. So for expedited shipping, production cutoff is on the 10th. So you can sell production items all the way through the 10th as long as you have expedited shipping on. And then you can sell all the way through the 12th with pick, which seems insane to me. But it must be overnight shipping. You can sell all the way through the 12th with pick. Now notice, one thing you should notice is I say the 12th, right? But it's really the 11th, because if you look, the cutoff time is 4 a.m. Eastern on the 12th, right? Which means the order has to be in our warehouse, in our hands, paid for by 4 a.m. Eastern on the 12th, right? So it's really the 11th, I suppose. That's kind of the cutoff, if that makes sense. So anyways, look, pause this, study this. If you have any questions, ask in the comments, reach out to somebody at Shine-On. We're going to be more than happy to help you out. Just know you can sell deep, deep, deep into Valentine's Day territory. So if you catch a winner, you're going to be able to really hit that gas, and you're going to be able to ride it all the way into that week of Valentine's Day. And that's where big, big money is to be made. Of course, results are not guaranteed. So hope this was helpful. You also have a definition of pick and production down here in the bottom, right? So you can also reference that if you're trying to figure out what's pick, what's production, etc. Okay. Make sure you check out our first sale challenge. If you're new here and you're still trying to figure out how to make sales, please join the first sale challenge. We did some analysis on the data, looking at Q4 and how the first sale challenge performed. And users in the first sale challenge had double the chance of making their first sale than users that didn't, right? It literally doubles according to our data. So if you're trying to figure this out and you haven't been able to make your first sale yet, go join the challenge. There's great information there. You're going to get to meet Andy, who's one of our coaches here at Shine-On. He's a fantastic guy, really knows his stuff. He runs his own stores. And you're going to be able to learn from him, and he'll help you get your first sale. You get 2 live plus 2 on-demand trainings. You get step-by-step setup instructions for your Shopify store. You're going to get to learn some proven product research strategies. You get an A to Z Facebook ads training. So you're going to learn how to launch Facebook ads and hopefully make your first sale. And then we also have some accountability and some daily action plans. It's only $5, people. It's only $5. Go check it out. All right. I've got a few products I want to tell you about, and then we're going to bring Chris on. So we have the 18K yellow gold cross pendant. In case you missed it, we launched this last Q4. This is going to be big with Easter and kind of some of the religious holidays that are coming up. So you may want to try selling this one. This will also really work well for Valentine's Day for any niche that's targeting men. And Chris is going to highlight a couple of those niches here in a little bit. So keep this one in mind as we go through the training today. This one I'm super excited about because this is going to crush for Valentine's Day. All right. Take your message card that you're seeing work in other areas or that you saw work last year during Valentine's Day. If you got your spy tools out, put it on this bad boy. I guarantee nobody's done that yet. You will likely stop the scroll, right? This little rotating rose box. It's an awesome box. I've got a couple behind me, but I'm not gonna pause to review it today. But it's got high perceived value. You can sell this. You can start at $50. I honestly think you could sell this for $60, $65, potentially even $70, just base, right? Without any upsells or anything like that. And your margin is going to be fantastic on this. The base cost is $13. I just can't believe it. If this had been around when I started, I don't know, man. I'd have put a hole in the freaking universe with this thing. But anyway, It's got the rose on there. The rose is scented. It's great on video. You turn this little knob and the thing rotates. It's a really cool product. I think this one's going to do great for Valentine's Day. Also, you've got this one. This is a heart-shaped box, and this one also is super cool in video. This is big. This is a big one. This is a big box. And you pull the heart apart. It splits down the middle, kind of like in this image here. You've got the rose on top. You got a little drawer. You pull it out, and out pops the jewelry with the message card behind it. Again, it looks fantastic on video. And you can start selling this one. We have the MSRP here at $60, and you get $40 profit at $60. I know for a fact this one is sold for $70, $80, right? Without any upsells. So you can sell this one for much higher too. And for Valentine's Day, people, to my wife, to my fiance, to my girlfriend, come on. This thing is going to sell. It's going to be freaking awesome. Great margins on this one too. So I want to see you guys selling the rotating rose box and this heart-shaped box. I think these things are going to crush for Valentine's Day. Okay, then we have the engraved four-sided stick necklace. I left this on here because I want you thinking about it as Mother's Day approaches. We got the printed acrylic blocks. This could be great for some sweetheart stuff where you got a picture of you advertise like a photo upload type product where they put on a couple's picture on this thing and it becomes a desk ornament or something like that. This is always kind of sweet. I got the engraved horizontal bar on here. This is more of a Mother's Day play, in my opinion, but you could also probably do the, I love you more, the end, I win type of stuff on this. And then you have the heart-shaped Lux. You have the heart-shaped graphic items and the bangles. So this one's engraved, but we also have a heart-shaped pendant that can also do photo upload, or you can put like a little phrase on there. I'm telling you, I've yet to see anybody do it since, but a few years ago, we had somebody lock in the photo upload heart-shaped graphic pendant. They locked it in for Mother's Day, and they almost broke fulfillment. I mean, everybody went home on a Friday. When they came back in on Monday, we had like 10,000 orders for these little heart-shaped photo upload pendant things. It was freaking insane. It came from absolutely out of nowhere, and they just demolished. I mean, they just crushed it. So I'm giving you that one. That's like a winner on a platter I'm telling you about for Mother's Day. Okay, that's all the products. So look, if you're interested in any of those, just pause, rewind the video, and check those out. I'm telling you, we've got some really cool new products that are going to be awesome for Valentine's Day. These are products we didn't have last year, right? So these are going to be new in the news feed, right? So make sure you lean into those and check it out. If you like the value we bring you every week here at Shine On, we would very much appreciate a review. Just pop over to the Shopify app store. Go to apps.shopify.com, search for Print on Demand or Shine On, pull us up, leave us an honest review. We would sincerely appreciate it. Okay. Are you guys ready to rock and roll? Should I bring Chris out? Chris, you ready, buddy? All right. Let me pull him up. Chris.
Yo.
What are you drinking today, bud?
I got a coffee.
All right. See, it's morning for him. It's like 3:30 for me, so I'm doing a kombucha.
6:25 a.m. for me.
6:25?
Yep.
What's it feel like to live, man? I love early mornings, dude.
No, I wake up mornings are not a problem for me. I wake up quite early naturally anyway. Just somewhere around 6 a.m. I wake up just without even an alarm clock. But I woke up. I set my alarm for 5:30 for this one, but I mean, it was not a big deal at all.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm up.
That's awesome. I don't wake up naturally that early. I gotta set an alarm, but it's worth it. It's worth it. How you been?
Good, very good, my friend.
Good. Do you have a good Q4?
Yeah, it was good.
Good Christmas run up.
I mean, I had clients crush it for Q4, so that's the thing that excites me the most.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to get into our stuff today. Before we do, though, you know how we roll around here. We always have to do this thing called the Digital Marketer's Toast. So look, if you're new, you're about to experience magic, right? This is banned in many countries around the world where they don't love magic, I suppose. Anyway, the Digital Marketer's Toast. We started this 4 or 5 years ago. We've done it every single week without fail. It's the dopamine hit that rings around the world. We typically have every continent represented in our toast here except Antarctica. We still haven't solved that one. We're like 0 and 5 years running on that one. Unfortunately, we did have someone volunteer to fly down there to do it for us, but we couldn't get the GoFundMe never got high enough to to support the trip. So anyways, raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks. Join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheaper CPMs, and lower CACs, higher CTRs, much higher CVRs to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts, upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
There we go. Now, I always tell people, check your phones. A lot of people get sales during the Digital Marketer's Toast. Some people report feeling tingles and they get chills. I'm telling you, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. And I'm told that the more you do it, the better it gets. So you never want to miss a coffee with shine on. If you like that good karma, you like the luck, it stacks every week. So never miss one. Okay, Chris, tell us what we're covering today. So I already told everybody that you're kind of a sage in the space. You've been around the print on demand block for absolutely freaking ever. I've always appreciated you have some kind of unconventional teachings. I love how product focused you are, because product is everything in the game. I love how research focused you are, and I also love your emphasis on zigging when others zag. That's something else that I just think you've always you've been on top of, and you have some like unique testing methods and Facebook methods that, again, they're just not that mainstream. So I always appreciate having you on and hearing what you're finding out in the space and kind of what you're doing.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about different ways you can craft messages for Valentine's Day products with Shannon. Also, I'm gonna recommend some products, but obviously, don't just limit yourself to what I recommend. We're going to talk more about that in this webinar. Now, one of the key things I'm going to point out is some different angles other than the traditional loving angle. Now, we're going to get into the loving angle, but I'm going to talk about some ways to craft your message with that, because you need to be unique and cool if you do that, because that's the most competitive space to operate in. But beyond that, I'm going to introduce you to 4 other ways that you can come up with messages for Valentine's Day that are not commonly used, and it's mind-boggling they're not. So, and because they work, they sell, and you'll have less competition if you choose to do these different methods. I'm going to talk about that here today. And so Michael's right. Product is everything. I could literally transplant my brain into your brain and give you all the Facebook ads knowledge that I know, and you won't make a single penny if you don't have a good product.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with that more. Without a good product, it's just lipstick on a pig, man. It always is. So let's talk about the marketing principles kind of underlying what you just said. So you're really highlighting the need to be different, because everyone's going after the lovey-dovey like angle, right? Like the to my wife, and it's going to be some sentimental message about, loving you forever, or whatever the heck it is. You're kind of saying everyone's going to be doing that. So if you're going to, since it's so saturated, if you're going to stand out, you got to be different in some kind of way, or you're just competing, right?
That's right. Or you're just basically another person selling the love knot or the forever love with the same phrasing that they just saw 5 minutes ago on a different one.
Yeah, and so in order to get anybody to buy anything, you have to get their attention first, right?
That's right.
And if they're on Facebook, they're scrolling. You got to present them something that's going to stop the scroll. That's kind of a Facebook lingo, right? That's a marketing lingo. You got to stop the scroll. Typically, you do that with something called a pattern interrupt, right? Is it just you're zigging when others are zagging? You're showing them something they don't really expect, or that's new, unique, and different, so that they stop and they go, what was that thing I just saw? And they scroll back up or whatever it is, right? But if yours looks and sounds and everything just like everybody else's, they're just going to scroll past, right? They're going to develop banner blindness to your thing. So from a marketing principle perspective, people should remember the entire internet runs on novelty, right? The entire internet.
It does.
Right? And if you go ahead.
Why do you think some of the videos on TikTok go crazy viral, right? Because it's unique and interesting. And then people copy it and copy it and copy it. And then all the copycats get less and less reaction.
Absolutely. That's exactly. There's diminishing returns every time somebody copies the original, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the whole point of this is to say this. They won't buy your thing if they never come to your website. They'll never come to your website if they don't click your ad. They're never going to click your ad if you can't get their attention, right? So getting their attention is a big part of the puzzle, and that's what Chris is kind of highlighting as we get into this. So he's going to have some unique angles and approaches that you probably haven't heard in a while. Good?
Yep. Perfect.
All right, over to you, man. I'll stop interrupting.
Okay, so there are 5 angles we're going to focus on here. Love, which is the typical type of thing where 97% of the content out there for Valentine's Day will be this. And I'm going to talk about crafting those messages, and I'm going to focus heavily on how you can craft unique messages that are different, okay? And then I'm going to go into 4 different ones that are, to me, it's just, every day I'm mind boggled why people are not utilizing these different angles. I mean, this is not the first time I've been on a Coffee with Michael, and I've been out doing coaching and training for people, and I've pointed this out many times. And so this is not like some massive secret I'm teaching you here today, but I want to emphasize it because despite me saying it over and over and over again, only a small finite number of sellers are actually leveraging this. And I mean, I've had one of the reasons why I had some of my clients crushed it for Q4 is they leverage these other ideas. They use these other ideas. So one is make fun of the person, and not in a mean way, but sort of a fun way, which we'll show some examples here. Another one I call pure humor, right? We're just making a pure funny message from start to finish. And the third one is what I call love with wit. The reason why I say that is it's a pattern interrupt, as we talked about. So what we do is we start off with some sort of message that's loving, and then we throw in a joke at the most unexpected time. And then last one is niche down. Now, niche down is not really an angle in and of itself. Niche down is something that you can do with every single, you have a loving message, you have a make fun of message, you have a humor message, you have a love with wit message. You can use niching down on all 4 of those. So we're going to show you examples and talk about these in great detail.
Excellent. Whoops.
Okay, so loving is a heartfelt romantic message, the standard stuff. So one product I'm going to recommend for Valentine's Day is the blankets. A lot of people are doing message card jewelry. Shineon has recently added blankets, and women love blankets. So instead of putting your message on, or if you have a message that was on a love knot or a Forever Love or any other message card jewelry, and it sort of got some reaction, got some link clicks, maybe a sale or 2, take it and put it on a blanket. The best part about blankets are the margins are just as good as message card jewelry. You can sell this for $30 or $40 margin. It's shocking how much people will pay for a good blanket. And the cool part about this, the blanket, is you can really get more unique on your design with a blanket. So I really think the blankets are incredibly underutilized, and I think you should hop on that.
Yeah, I will tell you that we have seen our blanket sales increase every year since we've added them to the catalog. The woven blanket tends to be the best seller. It's not the only one that's kind of doing some numbers, but it tends to be the best. So couldn't agree more on that.
Okay. The acrylic right here, again, you're doing the message card jewelry item, but instead of the standard card, you actually have a nice acrylic plaque with it. It just looks fancier. It feels fancier, right? So this is another one that I recommend. Just be different. Take the same concept, but just be slightly different. Now it's probably a good time to mention my favorite book in the world. If you've never read this book, you should absolutely get the audio book up if you don't want to read it, whatever. Michael, you know the book.
Slight Edge. I actually read it after you recommended it on our last one. I'm pulling it up right now.
How do you like it?
I did. I loved it. I took a bunch of notes.
Okay.
So trying to find it so I can prove to you I read it.
Yeah. The premise of this, obviously I think you should still read the book, but I'm gonna give you the premise of it. Just being a little bit better at anything, especially business, can make a difference. I mean, Apple is, I have a MacBook, I have an iPhone, Apple is, there it is, the slight edge. Apple, you think Apple is actually much better than Samsung? Let's be honest here. They're just slightly better at a bunch of little things, and that results in them being selling much more and doing much better than Samsung. And it's not some massive advantage, right? It's not some huge, oh my God, Apple's here and Samsung's here. It's more like they are here, but that little bit, that tiny little bit in between is what makes the difference. And so instead of putting your message card, your jewelry item on a message card, which people are so used to seeing for years, put it on an acrylic. This is a brilliant product. Okay.
So yeah, and higher AOVs.
And higher AOV. Yep. Okay, go next. Okay, so this is a standard message card jewelry message. Now, so these are loving things you can do. And I want to talk about crafting the message in the next slide. Okay. All right. So I used to call this mixing. I think back in the, Michael, when you took coaching with me, I called it training with me. I called it mixing. Michael thought mixing was a boring phrase, and he came up with this word. Hey, same concept, Frankenphrase. So let's talk about what Frankenphrase is. So what you're going to want to do is, and I did this back when I was selling T-shirts on Teespring, right? With we're not talking about selling, loving products for gifts, right? We're talking about selling shirts that said, I love my dog and maybe 3 other people. And I used to take one shirt concept I knew was selling, and another shirt concept I knew was selling, and say, how can I combine these into one? And I'd take a couple words from this one, maybe a concept from that one, and I'd mix them together. We call it, and now, thanks to Michael, we call it Frankenphrasing. So Shine-On you guys have a package of like 100 proven messages that sold in the past, right?
Yeah. So we have a 2025 phrase playbook where I went all the way back, I think, to 2020. I mean, I looked at thousands of messages and found there were like 30 of them that were recurring in literally all of our top selling products. I'll have to keep talking. I'll dig that up.
Okay. So what I recommend is you grab that and then you start mixing and matching stuff together to craft a unique phrase. Don't use that. The biggest mistake people are going to make with that product, and it's a great product. It's a great product. Okay. But the biggest mistake people are going to make with that is they're going to take those phrases as is with no editing, no changing, no tweaking, and they're just going to put it on a love knot message card jewelry item. A love knot's the most commonly advertised product, and a forever love. And then they're going to get 0 or 1 or 2 sales. They're going to lose money, and then they're going to go on the Shine-On group and complain that this doesn't work.
Yeah. Look, I'll try to provide.
It doesn't work because you're just copying the same shit everyone's done. So I'm getting passionate here. I'm getting warmed up here. I mean, of course it doesn't work. It's mind-boggling that you think it would.
So look, I'll share this after this airs or whatever. I looked at over 700,000 orders. Yes, I used AI to help me. But if you come in here, I show you the top niches. I show you the average number of sentences, word count, etc. for all the top sellers, the top products, and I give you all of the fragments. These are literally all of the top selling fragments over 700,000 orders. Right. So you're going to be able to come in here and you can mix and match. You can change them. You can put them into AI and have it spin it. You can make them niched. You can do all kinds of stuff. And I even break down why some of the fragments work. Like even some of the fragments have the same structure in them. Right. And I get into the common motifs and why all those structures work. So anyway, I'll provide a link to this. It's completely free because we want you guys to be successful. Okay.
Now, if you leverage this tool, but you add your own creativity, that's when the magic can happen. Okay. So I think I talked about Frankenphrase. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. Have ChatGPT write it for you. And now here's the key. Okay. This is the #1 most important thing. Okay. I've been playing around with ChatGPT and I've had my clients play around with ChatGPT. Okay. The worst thing you can do is go in and say, I am a Shine-On seller. I want to come up with a gift for mom for a message card jewelry item, the love knot necklace. Can you give me 20 phrases, maybe 30-word phrases to use? What ChatGPT is going to do is go out on the internet and going to come up with some stuff that may be sold. And it's going to pit you like all this generic stuff, and it's going to be just bad. So what you want to do is go on to Etsy or Amazon or whatever, or Facebook ads library, find a product that's currently being advertised, and it's been advertised for a while, okay? Or it's been sold on Etsy, it's getting good reviews. And you're going to take the entire message and you want to say, I'm a shine-on seller. I want to sell message card jewelry. I found this phrase on Amazon or this phrase on Facebook ad, and you write the entire phrase, the entire thing. And then you say, give me 10 or so variations and tweaks and changes off this. Then ChatGPT is going to produce you some awesome ideas. I'm finding that is the way to use ChatGPT. You got to give it a very detailed seed, and you got to give it something good. ChatGPT only works well if the prompt is awesome.
Yeah, totally with you on that, man. Well, people have to remember it's been trained on every text in the history of the world, right? And what it does is it basically synthesizes to the average across all of that, right? So every time you ask it something, it's going to produce an average output unless you give it bumpers, right? You give it constraints. And that's all you're doing. You're saying, like, give it really good context, give it really good constraints, and your output gets better.
That's right.
Couldn't agree more.
So, for example, in the t-shirt game, right? Instead of saying, give me 10 t-shirt ideas in the dog niche, give me, I saw this phrase, and I run on dogs and coffee, right? I saw that t-shirt selling. Okay, so go in and put in, I run on dogs and coffee, t-shirt selling well on Etsy. Give me some more phrases based on that, tweaks and changes. And then ChatGPT will pump out some great stuff for you.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with that.
Okay, now next time is just rewrite yourself. I mean, sometimes just use your own brain. You see it selling, sit down and rewrite it. Go have breakfast. Come back and rewrite it again. Go have lunch. Come back and rewrite it again. And just rewrite it over and over and over again. And sometimes you will hit on, then you go back and look over all your rewrites. And usually what I find is you may have written something 5 or 6, 7 times, different phrasing, but one is going to pop. Like, wow, that one is good. And here's the other thing, and this is the most important thing. I know this is going to sound crazy, but this is the key. The amount of times I've had coaching clients say, Chris, because when part of my coaching, I say, look, you can message me with your ideas, right? In between coaching calls, right? You can message me your ideas and just give me the phrases and I'll let you know what I think. And I start reading the phrase and it doesn't even flow well. It's just a mismatch of decent phrasing, but it doesn't flow this to this and this. Yep. And I asked my client, did you forget to read it out loud to yourself? I'm not joking you. This tiny little trick makes a big difference.
Yeah.
After you have your phrase, read it out loud to yourself. You want to hear what it sounds like, and you will catch. Oh my God! I mean, even now today, I look through Facebook. I'm shocked at how badly these messages flow. And flow is a very difficult thing to define. But the way what I've learned though is that's how you catch it. If you read it out loud to yourself and it makes sense and it just goes in your ear and you can understand it without having to think about it, that's a potentially good phrase. If you read out loud to yourself and you're like, what? Something's wrong here. Something's wrong. You got to go back and look at it.
Yeah, I totally agree with this, by the way. A lot of our top selling phrases, not all of them, but they almost have like a sing song to them. It's like they don't necessarily rhyme, but there's a definite like tempo and kind of flow and rhythm. And oftentimes they build to a punchline. Like they'll build to some kind of phrase or something like that where the emotion lands, right? And it seems so simple because it's like 70 words. But after you've seen enough top sellers, you start to go, oh, wait a minute. There is something here. Now, I don't know that they're ever written intentionally, like that intentionally. Like I'm probably peeling way more out of it than was actually there when somebody wrote it. But there was a thing like where somebody put that down and they saw it and they go, that'll work. Like their intuition picked up on it. So I totally agree with you. And reading out loud, I mean, Chris is totally right here. You want to catch whether or not you've got flow, rhythm, or you've got abrupt stops, like whether or not, your phrase reads like a dandelion floating on the wind or like a galloping horse. You read it out loud and you can pick it up. It's much, much easier.
Now, what I suggest you do, if you're not a native English speaker, this might be kind of challenging. So what I would do is after I read my phrases, I would go to ChatGPT and ask them if it flows or not.
Yeah, that's a great, dude. That is a great point. I never freaking thought of that one. That's a great point.
Because people in my coaching program, some of them are not native English speakers, and I can tell that they're at a disadvantage when it comes to this thing. And that has been the tool that we've been using to help them overcome that. Plus just asking me.
Very good.
Okay. Next one.
Yep. Can you see it?
Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. Now we're going to get into, I had a slide here. It looks like it disappeared, but now we're going to get into the most underutilized methods. Again, I know I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I'm just stunned and shocked that people don't use these. Just by, if you just listen to my loving message spiel and you think, oh my God, rewriting phrases and coming up with unique products and oh my God, that's so hard. How am I going to compete in that most competitive space? And you feel overwhelmed by that, then just don't do it. Just forget about the loving and then do these. Because just by doing what I'm about to, by just doing what I'm about to show you right now, these other angles, you're unique right away. And they work too. These sell. Let me take a swig of water here. Give me a second. Okay. Make fun of person. No, that's strange. Somehow the slideshow got messed up. That's just a humor one.
You're right. Sorry, guys. Chris sent me the slides, and I had to convert them. Hang on, buddy. These are going to be, geez, they're all out of order. Shoot. Okay. We are going to be jumping around. That's all right, dude. We'll make it work. Okay. So, you know what we're going to do? I'm just going to switch. We're going to do this.
That one you showed us from the humor angle.
Yep. It's not your fault. I didn't have anybody to help me with this today, so I used Claude's new co-work feature, and it apparently mixed all the slides up. It got it in my branding though, so that was cool. But anyway, we're gonna use this. So it's been a little while since I've used PowerPoint. So that's not what I wanted. Sorry, dude.
No problem. You can probably edit this part out.
We'll just start here. Okay.
Make fun of person.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is a Father's Day example because I actually, to be totally transparent here, this is something that either I had to show you what my coaching clients have done in the past for Valentine's Day, which they would not appreciate at all, and I got to keep their stuff secret, or I had to put it in a Father's Day example because I actually scoured the net for a while looking on Google. I was on Google, I was on Amazon, and I was on Etsy, and I'm like, make fun of, poke fun of Valentine's message jewelry or whatever, and I couldn't find anything other than what my clients have done. So that tells you how unique this is, and that's actually, what I was thinking when I was doing that research. Opportunity. The fact that my clients look like to be the only ones out there using this angle for Valentine's Day is opportunity for you. So what I did instead is I'm using my own Father's Day stuff that we sold personally. I sold personally or tried to sell in the past. Some of them successful, some are not. But I'm going to show you these examples, right? Father's Day one. We have this little ad image there, and we say world's greatest farter. I mean father, right? So that's funny, right? Right. So if you can come up with a funny message, I mean, how about some sort of message? The same open watch. By the way, I recommend this open watch. The margins are great on this. It's a beautiful item. Get a make fun of message to boyfriend or husband from the wife on this. If you can come up with something, it'd be great. Next slide. Okay. This is one that we sold in the past as well. This is not a coffee mug. Making socks and sandals look cool since forever, right? It's sort of poking fun of your dad, right? So dad, making socks and sandals look cool since forever. So another one that we sold for Father's Day and Christmas.
Love it.
Okay. Next we're going to talk about the most underutilized angles. And actually that previous angle I should have had that slide in a different spot. But anyway, let's continue. Humor. Okay, just plain humor, right? I mean, there's no specific angle, just a funny joke. So some examples. I know that we don't have to say out loud, I'm your favorite child, right? So you can come up with some sort of humorous message to put on a card, right? Here's another example. This one, actually, I think you've seen this one around, right?
This one actually sold for us like 3 or 4 years ago. I haven't seen anybody selling it recently. Yeah, so hopefully we won't get in any trouble here. But this one at one point had a run.
Yeah, and I know that. This is why I put this in the slideshow. This is awesome. I mean, read through it. I mean, can you zoom in there and show them the message?
Yeah.
This is one of the best examples. It's
inappropriate. I'm not reading this out loud in case you got kids around, but this is a great example of something I never thought would work. Like I showed up and I was teaching everybody go the sentimental route, and then somebody did this one, and I was like, okay, I guess derogatory humor works too. But
I mean, it's inappropriate, so I'm not going to read it either. But it's hilarious. I mean, and the reason why this is, I'm showing you that this can work, and this was a big seller in the past. This very item, shine-on message card jewelry with this kind of humor on there, sold well in the past.
Yeah, and look, this may not. If you go carbon copy this, this may not work. You're going to have to bring your own thing to it if you want to see this thing revived. But
yeah, you definitely have to be more unique and original. But the point is, it shows that it can work. And this is an example directly from shine-on.
Absolutely.
Next one, Love with Wit. Okay, this is my favorite one. Okay. No. So go before. Let me explain it first. Okay. So, what this is what we call a pattern interrupt. So I learned this when I was in speech. I was a big speech debate guy in university. Made me kind of nerd. Anyway, when I was in that club, we talked about what's called a pattern interrupt. So when you open a speech, you want to open up with something that's going to get people's attention, right? And there's a couple ways to do that. One is to say some sort of phrasing that, and then change it at the end that sort of gets people's attention. Or another one's called using an open loop, which is, you open with a question and then you don't answer the question. Then you wait. You may say you have to wait till the end of the speech to get the answer to this question. It gets people wanting to know. They want to know the answer to that question, so they're going to listen, right? So, for example, have you ever seen Les Brown speak? This motivational speaker, Les Brown. He's very famous.
Oh, I think yeah. I have. Yep.
Okay. He'll open up with one of his speech. He'll say, "Practice makes," and then of course the entire crowd says, "Perfect." And then he says, "No, get that out of your mind. There's no such thing as perfect. You can never be perfect." So that's a pattern interrupt, and it's the same thing with this love message. You have some sort of loving phrase. "I love you. You're the rock." I'm sorry, I'm having a little coughing thing going on here.
Don't worry, your DJ Pocket 3 has got you perfect. It's following you out of the frame.
I did that on purpose. I got the tracking on. So anyway, what happens is you have some sort of loving message. So I love you. You're the best. Since I met you, you're the greatest. And even though you poison me every night with your food, I still love you.
Yeah.
So you just add some joke in there, and that makes a big difference. Okay. Now these next examples, again, I was limited on what I could show you because I didn't want to. I can't show you my client's stuff. I mean, that's just rule number one. So this one is a pattern interrupt, and it's good. So, dear Dad, this is one that we sold in the past with other clients. You know, sorry, not clients. I've seen other sellers sell, not clients, but other sellers sell. This is one that we sold a long, long time ago. Dear Dad, thanks for putting up with a spoiled, ungrateful, bratty child like my brother. So the dad's expecting it to say like me,
right,
or me, but then there's a joke, a tweak at the end. That's the key here. Next one. Now this one I don't love as far as a pattern interrupt, but again I limited because I didn't want to show my client stuff. I actually think the top message needs to be longer. It should say, "Dear Mom, thank you for being an awesome mom. You're the greatest mom. You know, thank you for feeding me, clothing me, and doing all you ever done for me. And if I had a different mom, I would go punch her in the face and go find you."
Yeah, you build it up.
Yeah, this needs to be built. This is a pattern interrupt, but it's just not built up enough. It says, "Dear Mom, thank you for being my," what does it say? "Thank you for being my mom." Yeah, that's just not quite built up quite enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still the point though. It works.
Excellent. Next.
Yep. Okay, niche down. This is key. Okay, this is awesome, and a lot of people do this wrong. So let's go back to one of the loving messages at the top. Just choose one of them. Doesn't matter which one.
Like this one?
That's fine. So what most people will do is this. They'll say, "To my wine-loving wife." So they just have wine-loving, and they'll maybe put a picture of a lady or a wine bottle there, and then they'll say it's niched. And then they'll go and advertise it on Facebook. And Michael, tell them what happens.
Yeah, nothing.
It just lands flat.
Yeah.
So now you're probably scratching your head. Say, Chris, well, how do you niche down? Well, I'm about to show you. So let's go back to the niche down thing. Okay, go next slide. Okay, so what is a niche? First, let's talk about that. It's biker mom, tennis mom, hiking mom. So biker girlfriend. I should have edited the slide. My bad. Biker girlfriend, tennis wife, hiking wife. Right, so I put mom in there, but I should have changed the wife since we're doing Valentine's Day. But anyway, the point is some sort of niche related. So, bowling husband, beer loving husband, golfing husband, right? That kind of thing. So some sort of niche, right? And then here's the thing: if you don't remember anything when it comes to this niche, remember this number two. This is the most important thing. In fact, I probably should highlight and put in red. Use niche words in the product for the message. Use
specifically in the message, right? You're saying like tie it in. Yeah.
Tie in niche words. And I got two great examples here. Let's show you. Okay. Yeah. So this was not one of my clients' ones. It's never I did. This is one that I saw out on the internet and I know it sold well. And this is one of the most brilliant products I've ever seen. It's awesome. I mean, it says, "To the greatest catch of all," to my greatest catch, out of all the fish in the sea, I'm so glad you swam to me. Every moment I spend with you is a dream come true. Love, your fisherman. Greatest catch. Fish in the sea. Swam up to me.
Yeah.
Fisherman. It's got 4 different phrasals, niche phrases in the message itself. That is the key thing. So you want to combine a niche, but if you just niche it to my wine-loving wife or to my bowling husband, and then you have a little image, and then you use a standard phrase, it is going to land flat. I've never seen that work.
You got to make it cute is really what you're going for here. You need the recipient to get it and go, "Oh, that's kind of cute."
Yep, exactly. Here's another one, right? Snowboarding buddy. And then you can upload the limits. So this is another great niching down here.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, so I think we're okay. Now, Valentine products recommendations. There's some specific products I'm going to recommend. But before I say this, I want to point out something. If I don't recommend it, but you think it's a good product for Valentine's Day, by all means, try it. Okay. I'm not saying that these are the only ones that can sell for Valentine's Day, but at the same time, I want to give you some guidance and help you come up with some ideas of stuff to test. So here's some stuff that I've seen sell in the past, and I recommend you go ahead and try. Okay, obviously the message card jewelry here, right, can work, but again, be good on the phrasing. Next one. The blankets, we already talked about that, and this is a woven blanket example, right?
Yeah, this is a woven blanket. Guys, these are super high quality too. Like these are really, really nice blankets.
And again, what I love about the blankets is when we first started selling blankets back like 5-6 years ago, I was like, $70 for a blanket? Who's gonna? Because that was like the recommended price.
Yeah.
I thought, no way. And then I was like, oh my God, it's selling. People are paying $70 for a blanket. I was just mind boggled. And yeah, you can get $30, $40 margins on these blankets. No problem whatsoever. It's shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Especially like, I know I'm probably beating a dead horse here, but these woven ones are like, they're really heavy. They're really high quality blanket. I was very, very impressed with these.
Okay. Next one, the open work watch. We just talked about that one earlier, but that's a really good watch. The best part about this, big margins. I mean, if you're selling this one and you got a winning phrase, you can sell this for like $125, $150. That's on like almost like $80, $90 margins. You don't need to sell 1,000 of them to make good money.
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
sell, 30, 40, 50 of them in a day. You can do really well. For a younger boyfriend, the Cuban chain I've seen sell well. It's good. I don't really recommend this one for older. What's the politically correct word these days for people over like 45, middle aged and older?
I have no idea. Geriatric? I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to target younger people for this. So this is more of a people in the late 20s, 30s, gift for boyfriend type of thing.
Yeah.
But this can work.
Yep. I think that's it for your.
Okay, that's it. Cool. Let's jump back to your slides.
Okay. I don't have anything special over on mine. So let's do this, Chris. Let's do just kind of a quick recap for people here.
Okay.
So, from a principle perspective, I always like to drill into principles. Like why does it work, right? And the big takeaway here is the entire internet runs on novelty, and you have to capture attention, right? And the way you do that is by being different. One of the phrases that we say repeatedly here at Shine is we say, don't try to be the best, be different, right?
That's right.
You want to be different in your own category and become the best over there, right? And that's right. The idea here is if you present a product in the marketplace that other people are not doing, guess what? You don't have any competition at that point.
Absolutely.
You're the only place they can buy. And if you happen to really nail the phrase, like using some of the tips and tricks that Chris is teaching here, if you happen to nail the phrase and it's sentimental and it leads to a punchline and it's shocking and it makes somebody laugh or whatever the case might be, and you're the only one with that phrase and they want it, there's a chance you're getting that person's money, right? And that's the whole psychology, that's the whole principle underlying everything in this presentation that makes it all work. And so, and Chris, feel free to jump in at any point here.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
All right. So Chris went over a few different angles. So he talked about the loving angle and how to make the loving angle work. Talked about doing Franken phrases, right? So you take phrases already working and kind of mishmash them together in a new and fresh way. You can use ChatGPT or get out pen and paper and you can rewrite those things. You can, so here's some new and interesting angles that maybe you haven't seen, but you should try so you can make fun of somebody, right? And so that's where the world's greatest farter kind of came in just as an example, but ask ChatGPT how to make a phrase funny. I guarantee it'll be there with 5 examples for how you can twist something and make it shocking or vulgar or just like dad jokey, funny, whatever parameters you put on it. It can't say no. It's going to try to figure it out for you. Right.
That's right.
Then you have other kinds of humor too. So that was making fun of somebody. You can do the I'm your favorite child one. You can do the vulgar love not one where again we didn't read that one out loud. I'm probably not going to repeat anything there. Talked about love with wit. This was one of Chris's favorites, right? Because it's a real pattern interrupt. The example we dug into was that, if I had a different mother, I'd punch her in the face and go find you. And then he also talked about niching down, right? And the way you make niches work is you take niche language, the inside jokes, the puns, things like that, the vocab, and you weave it into the phrase, right?
That's very key. Yep.
The fisherman one, and it's like, of all the fish in the sea, you swam to me. That's kind of how you do that. And then finally, you just had some product recommendations. Love not, the blanket, the watch, and the necklace. Did I miss anything, or do you want to add anything?
Nope, that's good.
Okay, great. Look, I think that's going to wrap it up. So Chris, if people want to learn more about you, if they want to find out about your coaching, like tell people how they can get in contact.
Okay. The easiest way is to message me on Facebook. As you guys can see, I'm a big Facebook person. I live on Facebook. I check my messages all the time. So just message me. I go to my message requests to see if I get any messages. I've got 2 offers you can take advantage of. One is a group coaching, which is obviously much more affordable. And people also ask me, well, people getting results from group coaching. I mean, if you look through my Facebook timeline, you'll see some results I've been posting. And some of those are from group coaching. They didn't sign up for my private coaching. They took group coaching and it worked for them. Obviously, if you want to work with me more long-term and you want really one-on-one detailed help over a long period of time, they're in my private coaching. By the way, I want to mention that the group coaching also has, it's not just a pure group coaching. It's a hybrid. You will get group coaching and 3 private calls because I think you do need a little bit of one-on-one. So there's group coaching with a little bit of private, or there's long-term private coaching. I can offer you 2 things. So message me if you're interested. And I'm very confident in my program. You can see people have gotten results. We had that one guy message you saying his if you look in the Facebook group, there's Max results. He says he's having the best profit he's ever had his entire print on demand business. And he's been in this business for a long time. How long has Max been on? Like 7 or 8 years now?
Yeah, I'm not sure. In the Shine On world, I know for at least 3.
Yeah, so if you go in, the China group, he posted about it. The reason why I can say his name and the example is because he was willing to be public about it. He worked with me, and he's having the most profit he's ever had in his business. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee results like that. That's great, but I'm very confident in my coaching program. And if you're interested, message me.
Yeah, I've heard great things about Chris's coaching as well. And again, Shannon gets no kickback here other than any sales you generate, when Chris gets you all coached up. So I can wholeheartedly recommend you go check Chris out and you trust his coaching. I've seen his results. I've seen him produce results. I took some of his coaching in the past. So Chris is the real deal. He knows what he's talking about. All right, everybody. Put this stuff into practice. I hope you took notes, pause the video, go back, rewatch parts, and start swinging, right? Because with Mother's Day, you've still got 14, 15, 16 days of selling. You lock on a winner, and you can
Valentine's Day.
Geez, Valentine's Day. You can see where my head's at already. Is the CEO of the company. I live like 6 months in the future all the freaking time. It's weird. So anyway, yes, Valentine's Day. You have 14, 15 days to sell, right? If you lock in a winner now, you've got plenty of time to ride that thing up before you get to cutoff. And if you're in the right niche, you might get another bite of the apple for Mother's Day, right? It doesn't mean Valentine's Day is it. So do not give up. Keep swinging. Keep getting after it. You'll find a good one. Go ahead.
Let me let you on something really cool. If you find a winner right now for Valentine's Day and it's a gift for boyfriend or husband or wife or girlfriend, you can use that for Christmas as well. Yeah. The exact same thing will sell for Christmas. And then if it's a winning phrase, you might be able to tweak it and twist it and use it for Mother's Day and Father's Day. Some other thing.
Yes. So that's where my head went immediately.
So if you're thinking, oh my God, well, I might find a winner to be short-lived. And for this immediate window, yes, maybe, but you can ramp it up quickly. But once you have that phrase that's working, you can use it for other stuff. So there's traction beyond just Valentine's Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. All right, everybody. I hope you found today helpful. Make sure you hit Chris up, ask questions in the chat. He'll be in there interacting. And until next time, happy selling.
Cheers.
See you later, everybody.